And then there was us. Dad is finally off to his book club while Jess and I are still slurping our smoothies and scrolling through our phones. I sold out. Sold out, Jess asks. I give her my phone, which is showing the sales on my website. Yeah, sold out. Remember that drop I did a couple weeks ago? It was mostly hoodies with a couple of full sweatsuits. Oh yeah, I saw that on IG. You sold everything? Everything. Jess grabs both my hands and flings them in the air with hers. Coy Douglas fashion extraordinaire. Calm down, it was only 12 pieces. Yeah, and all 12 of them are gone. You're pretty much an icon now. Jess pretends she's walking down a runway like designers do after their show, then stops and blows me a kiss like I'm part of the audience. So when's the next collection coming out? After me and Jess finish our smoothies, I get a text from Derek asking what I'm up to. I tell him he should come over, and while we wait for him to show up, Jess is fireballing ideas on what my next drop should look like. Just before Derek arrives, Jess also tells me that I should catch him up on what's going on with my mom. She says there shouldn't be any secrets between friends, especially since Derek is more than a friend now. I'd been starting to think I'd never tell him, but I take her advice and I let it all out, down to the doctors trying to get her to breathe on her own. Now we're sitting at separate ends of the couch and Jess is sitting on the floor between us. It's barely mid-evening, but outside it's so dark it feels like midnight. My dad's still out, so it's just us. TV off with Derek's Spotify playlist coming through the speaker. He keeps looking over at me with those puppy dog eyes, which is making me regret telling him about my mom. I really hope he doesn't start asking me if I'm okay every other day. That'll put him on the fast track to a breakup. Wait, just one more question, Derek says. Jess looks over at me to gauge my annoyance level, then lets him finish. If your mom lives, really, Derek? Jess jumps in. If? My bad. When your mom gets better, will you talk to her again? I stop myself from blurting out no, even though that's my first reaction. The truth is that I haven't really thought about it much. I don't want my mom to die. That I know. I don't know, I say, and I don't really want to think about that right now. I hope she gets better and she's normal or whatever. Like no crazy long-term health problems. Know what I mean? But besides that, I don't know. I think you'll talk to her again. Jess says this like she can already see the future. Yeah? How can you be so sure? Because we're the same people and I know your heart. You'll talk to her. Just watch. I shrug my shoulders and let Jess pat me on the knee. Okay, one more question, promise. Derek just doesn't even need to look at me this time. You've gone too far, bro. You're turning this into a therapy session. I know, but you guys know all of this stuff already. I'm just finding out. Of course I'm going to ask a million questions. Just one more, I swear. It's cool, I say. Let him get all his questions out now. Derek smiles like a little kid with a new video game. Okay, so you told me that it's been a long time since you've seen your mom. But when I asked you about her last time you saw her, you always say that she walked out of your house. I don't get it. Do you mean she walked out on you? It's so easy for me to go back there. I don't need a dream. The images of that day are so vivid with my eyes open. I'm already back in my old room. My mom is raging through my closet, ripping clothes from their hangers and tossing them on the floor. Take it. I can hear her voice like she's standing right in front of it. Take it all. I can see 2 piles of clothes from my closet on the floor. They're half her height, but she's not done. She stomps over to my dresser and starts pulling out the drawers. You don't want to be a part of this family? Fine. Take this, and all of this. Hey, Jess says, and I notice her and Derek staring at me, waiting for me to answer Derek's question. We don't need to talk about this, seriously. I'm good. It's just I can still see her. I can still see myself. I was in grade 8 wearing my red and black school uniforms. Go Hawks, right? And my knapsack is on my back, and I'm just watching her destroy my room and throw all my clothes on the floor. It's like it's happening all over again. Jess and Derek are quiet now. It's like the story time in first grade, and I'm Miss Duncan telling the most personal story possible. And everything's on the floor except for the dress she bought me for my graduation. It was this dark pink full-length gown that looked more like a bridesmaid kind of thing than something I'd wear to graduation, but she wasn't going to let me have it. She brought it to her room and then came back with 3 garbage bags in her hand, still screaming at me. What did she say? Derek asked. That I'm not part of the family, that I don't have her last name or her man's and Kyla's last name, so I shouldn't be in her house. I see myself picking up a handful of underwear and tossing them into a garbage bag, a handful of socks and tossing them into a garbage bag, jeans, sweater, and tank top I planned on giving to Kyla. The tears on my face were already crusted from what happened at the school parking lot before we even got to my mom's house. I can see her standing over me, though arms crossed, blurting out whatever she thinks will hurt me the most. Then she checks her phone and tells me my dad's outside waiting. I didn't even know she had called him or whatever. I still didn't know what was happening, and she just told me to hurry up and pack my stuff, and we were out the door. Jess is looking at me like it's the first time she's heard this story. Derek wants to know more. Where's Kyla? Derek asks. Was she watching this happen? I don't know where she was. When my mom told me that my dad was outside, I was just trying to get out as fast as possible. But she followed me downstairs from my room. She watched me put my sneakers on and then watched me walk outside. When I looked back at the house, Kyla was at the window peeking through the side of the curtain, and she was only 8 or 9 or whatever, but she's watching me and I'm looking at her and I can tell she doesn't really know what's going on. She doesn't know that's the last time she'll see me in that house. And I want to wave. I want to wave and tell her not to worry and that she'll be all right. But my mom just kept talking and talking. Don't bother looking back, my mom's voice again, clear as the lake in Kern Carr. You hate this house and you love your dad so much. This is what you want, right? You don't want to be here anymore, right? That killed whatever motivation I had to at least tell Kayla goodbye. And with all of this happening, I still didn't say anything back to my mom. Nothing, not a word. When we got closer to my dad's car, my mom tells me that I'll never see my sister again. That's the last thing she said to me. But she didn't just walk away. She watched me throw my 3 garbage bags in the back of the car. She watched me open the front door and lower into my seat. She watched my dad reverse all the way to the end of the complex, past the staircase, past where all the kids my age would be playing, and didn't move. I remember in that moment wishing that she would chase my dad's car and tell me she was sorry and she had made a horrible mistake and that of course she loves me and wants me close to her and that she wants me. That was day 1, and you know the rest. My phone is on the floor vibrating like a small drill. It's your auntie, Jess says and passes me the phone. Before I can put the phone to my ears, I hear my auntie wailing. She's gone, Coy. Chrissy is gone.